Alright YouTube, this is 2 Cent back with my 2 cents on Octopath Traveler, and I know the last couple weeks we've seen a lot of kind of negativity and a lot of somewhat just some criticism overall for the game, and rightly deserved on a lot of those points. However, today I want to come out with a really positive kind of a feel of a video and kind of give you guys the reasons, my favorite things about Octopath Traveler COTC. So let's get into the video. Alright, so the first thing that I just absolutely love for this game is just the different kind of like story aspects of it. Of course, everybody probably could have guessed this could have been on the list, but I just love being able to interact with all the different kind of characters and go through, the traveler stories and the main storylines of this game. I think are really fun. There are definitely some traveler stories that I'm kind of like, okay, we've kind of hit the same sort of story over and over, and obviously I get that those ones aren't quite as fun, and there probably have been some that I've kind of skipped over, but for the most part, the story kind of aspect of this game is a huge driving force of it. And so as you're kind of going along and you're doing your story, you're just kind of working your way through. If you're a new player, I do encourage you to stop, make sure you actually read the storyline, because I think it is probably one of the most engaging sort of games that I've had in a long time. It's actually entertaining to go along with it, at least on that main storyline. So definitely one of my favorite pieces of the game, and it's kind of maybe what brought me to start playing it to begin with. So I didn't play the original Octopath Traveler game. I owned it, and I just never ended up booting it up because I had it on my Switch, and then I just never ended up playing anything on my Switch, which, I wish I had some time to go back and do that now. But when we had it on, coming to the phone, and there was this mobile game coming out, and I was like, you know what, I know that game will be fun, and I know it is really story driven. I've seen a lot of the people talking about it, and I was like, okay, that has to be something I'm going to try out. All right, so on to number 2 here. So and honestly, I'm gonna make a little bit of a list here, but as I'm recording this, I didn't pre-plan exactly how many numbers there are. So I don't know, we might stop at 2 and that would be funny, or we might stop at 6. I don't know. So the other thing I really do like about this game is, so far in the game, which we are a few months in, I have not felt the need to have to pull anybody. I've made a couple videos about the free-to-play friendliness of this game, and I feel like that still stands. I think, you can clear all the content with basically just using 4 stars, as far as I can tell. And I don't know, going into the future, maybe somebody can tell me I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure your 4-star units can handle just about all the content in this game, at least up till now. I can tell you for sure, because I've seen people do it. And then it's not, like, we don't get a lot of currency to pull, and I know that's where a lot of people are like, the game isn't free-to-play friendly in that regard. But my kind of thought process is, it's less about how many pulls you're getting and more of how useful the things are that you're getting from pulls to be able to complete the content that's given. And this kind of leads into my somewhat like next piece of this, is that the game itself is very friendly with not making things limited. I'm so sick and tired of having these mobile games that will limit what events that I can only do it this week. And so I have to get on there and I have to grind that whole week to be able to get some sort of item to max it out or something of that nature, or it's gone for, 3 months or 2 months or, forever, depending on the thing. And so one of the biggest things I really like is I feel like Octopath Traveler really respects my time. Even when you're looking at the hunts, you can go in on these hunts here and you can save them up for an entire week before you have to do them. And that is definitely one of the things that I really enjoy about that, is that I don't have to do them right now. And that is nice. And for whatever it's worth, there's also these easy hunt ones too, so you can just kind of click it and go. So I don't want to belabor that point at all, but I do feel that a lot of mobile games these days are trying to take all of my time, and trying to make me feel like I need to pull the latest unit to be relevant. And I don't have to deal with that in Octopath Traveler, with the way that they have had things set up. You want to pull, you want the characters, but I don't know if you really need them in any real case or sense of that word. At some point, all the standard banner characters, as you're rolling on everything else, you will get them and you'll be able to, awaken them up slowly over time. And so I just like that aspect of the game to the point where that's probably the main reason that I wanted to cover this game, and that I wanted to just make sure that we get to talk about it. It's really fun to kind of talk about these sorts of games because a lot of times people in communities are really set on the PvP aspect of games in this some sort of like competition between players and stuff like that, and that isn't as something I'm interested in as having a game that we're all kind of working together on. Whether it's, hey, so what kind of tips do you have about doing this, or I'm trying to do this fight, what do you kind of suggest over here for that? But also with the idea that we can just give people a couple little hints and then kind of let them kind of work it out on their own. And I think that's what I really like about this sort of thing. It kind of maybe harkens back a little bit to when we were, playing games when we were younger that were all single player without having the internet to co-op anyway. Back in the day, the only thing you could do was couch co-op. I know I'm dating myself there, but I am a little bit older, and I just like that aspect of Octopath Traveler, and it kind of reminds me a little bit of that. So, and I think that's going to tie in really nicely to my kind of last thing I want to go over here, and that is just how awesome the community has been in this game compared to a lot of the other games I've been out there. My interactions with the people in my comments section, my Discord, or other Discords, or just seeing other content creators that are making videos and having some chats with them on the side. Like, this game has been a little bit special as far as the community is concerned. I've played a lot of bigger games in the past, looking at like War of the Visions, and I've played Genshin. I play Tower Fantasy on the side right now, and all of them have a really, really nasty vocal minority of those populations that are very discouraging about things. And so far in the Octopath COTC world, I haven't seen that quite as drastic or quite as horrible as what I've seen in some of the other ones. So I want to give a big shout out to everybody out there that really is making the effort to, even if we disagree about something, to not be hateful about it, and just to remember that we're just all trying to have fun playing this game and just share in the story that Square has been bringing towards to us. And but also at the same end, I don't want us to be like praise them all the time and never give any sort of criticism. So don't take that away from me either, where I feel like people are unable to be critical. I just like how everybody is being respectful while being critical, at least for the most part. There's always some bad apples out there, but anyway, I've probably rambled on long enough. I just wanted to get a nice kind of more uplifting video out there, and maybe that can kind of, help brighten your day about things too. So let me know down below what you guys really like about this game. Maybe you agree with some of the things I said, or maybe you have a totally different list. Anyway, let me know down below. And that's been my 2 cents.